Hello everyone, this is SaharaDrac of SCLegacy.com, and today I am casting a game between myself, SaharaDrac, playing the Terran on Coolest Ravine against a player on the ladder named Bia! Bia! That's his full name. And I am casting this game because I've had some requests to do my own games, and it was just a really good game, action-packed, lots of fun. So yeah, plus I like TVP. I think it's a really cool matchup because either side can really lose it if they make one crucial mistake. So, but yeah, in the meantime, I'm spamming my APM hotkeys like the Korean pro Gosu that I am. Oh, Gosu. Here's my first mistake. I forgot the matchup. I always like to wall off as ASAP against Protoss. Here I put my supply depot next to my command center, which, if I could redo it, wouldn't have done, but not a huge deal. I'll just wall off with other buildings, but it will be later. So yeah, I have been plummeting, just plummeting down the diamond ladder. I'm like 47th now. The guys in like first through third have like over 1,000 points, and I am clinging on to like the big old 630, 640. So it's not good. I mean, I really, my goal right now is to be an 800 point player, and I really think I'm capable of it, but man, I have just been losing lately to just the two games before this. Let me tell you about the two games before this one, by the way. Barracks on 14, and over here our buddy Bia is doing a pretty normal opening, so nothing to really talk about there too much. The game before this one, a guy six-pooled, and then like brought all his drones with his six-pool. Like he sent his drones right when he built the eggs. So the drones got there first. I was like, is this guy drone rushing me? And so I pulled all my SCVs off and was trying to fight the drones, and that's when the lings showed up. So it was just awful cheese, just horrible. And then the game before that, I got proxy cannons rushed, and I stopped it. It got into my base. It did a lot of damage, but I eventually pushed it back with siege tanks. And after like 30 minutes, the guy who successfully proxy cannon rushed me managed to just barely beat me. He had like one Colossus alive, and I just barely lost it. And he was talking mad shit the whole time. He's like, "Must be embarrassing to lose to a proxy cannon." And I'm like, "Dude, you won half an hour later. You should have won right when you did it if you did it right." But if you want to play again without cheese, I'm happy to, and let's do it. And you can see here, 3-gate, normal Protoss opening happening, and I am walling off with my factory and continuing to make Marines as my orbital command finishes, and my second refinery goes up. This is my every TVP build. Anyways, so we get into a custom game on my lovely orange Terrans, which always bring me luck, and I do this build. He doesn't cheese, he tries to play straight up, and it's completely one-sided. I frickin' annihilate this dude. Frickin'. Say frickin' with me. Frickin'. And he doesn't GG, leaves the game without a word, and immediately blocks me. So that way I can't. Because, dude, at the end of that game, I was ripping into him. I was like, yeah, we don't need to get into it, because I'm sure you know I'm partial to the saucy language. But that's my little story of the two games before this. So this game, I'm very determined. I'm like, I'm not going to mule. I'm just going to forget all about my mule. There we go. I'm like, there's no way I'm losing to some cheese. So I don't know if you've been watching the mini-map. Probably not. But I have been looking all over Coolest Ravine for proxy pylons. I'm like, no more. No more of this bull. So yeah, and here comes the interesting part of the build. I've done a few videos on it, but I make a tech lab with my first factory, then immediately lift it and make another tech lab, because this tech lab is for the starport to get a super fast Raven. And I have my second refinery starting on 17, so I get two gases really fast, reactor Marines, and then Raven tank. That's the basic gist, and you can switch to Viking, whatever you need, basically, depending on what you scout the Protoss doing. So it's very good, very versatile build. Beating a dead horse because I've talked about it before, but some newer viewers, newer viewer, and should be getting that Raven. There he is, and tanks coming out, and Marines. So that's the basic gist. And as I expand, I will add on a Ghost Academy, another tech lab, and another factory, and make Ghost Hellion drop Marine Raven with a little Banshee harass peppered in. So it's It's pretty complex, but it gets the job done. So first orbital command coming out. I'm scouting over here. Just wanted to see what was going on. I did manage to hide a guy over here, so I got to get a scout without a scan, which is always nice. And there's the robotics facility, because I'm not sure if he has seen me, but he probably has seen the reactor barracks. No, he's just assuming I'm getting Marines, so that's a lucky stroke for him that he actually chose a pretty good unit. But of course, I am going to eventually scout this. I should have some forewarning too. This is why it's very important to not just scout at the beginning of the game, but scout throughout the game. Your thought cycle should be something like produce supply, scout, produce supply, expand, scout. You know, like that should be your basic mental cycle for the game. You should always be scouting. And now he has seen my reactor barracks. He goes, "Oh, nice. Good thing I'm getting Colossi." So yeah. And I moved the Raven over here just in case he tries to sneak in, but he, of course, doesn't. He's just going to move over here. There's the command center going down. A lot of times, I will make a Banshee right here and go harass probes, but when I scouted, I saw a lot of stalkers, so I kind of thought, I don't think it'll be worth it this time, so opted against it. Here I have one tank shooting a rock, and this tank's watching. There we go. Oh, and then he goes in here, and he can't reach it. Oh, boy. And he just gives up. It's like, you fat ass taking up all the rock shooting room. Fine. I'm not even going to do it. So, yeah. But at this point, I'm like, what is this tank doing? I told him to shoot the rocks. I hate this game. It doesn't work. And, yeah. So I'm getting up to a pretty good Marine number. I should be making more tanks. I'm not using anything for the starport right now just because I am conserving my gas for a mech explosion. Actually, it's to make ghosts, but, you know, mech too. And in the meantime, he should be getting his Colossi up. Yeah, there's one, and let's check what I have. Let's check what I'm aware of. I'm aware of nothing, but I know I see. There it is. Get down the little scan, see that, and then he immediately moves out. So I know it's getting to be go time. So I immediately move a starport to a reactor and pump the Vikings, which is a really great part of the build. Pump the Vikings? The Vikings? Dr. Jones? You will make the Vikings, or you will die. What the hell? Make Vikings? No? Oh man, I'm awful at this game. Hold on, I'm just going to sit here awkwardly till I make Vikings. Okay, I moved to the starport, to the reactor. What am I... Okay, I'm building a tech lab. Okay. Viking! There's 1, 2. Okay. Wow, I really should have got on that sooner. So there's a big mistake for me. I actually haven't watched this replay yet. So here he is breaking down this wall. This is going to be pest. That's why if you can expand to here, do go ahead and do it. And I should have a guy here for vision, but I don't because I'm a rookie. But yeah, much safer expansion for your second. This should be your third, if you could manage it. Obviously, if you are under a lot of pressure and you don't have time to break those rocks, well, then you have to make do with the natural here. And here's an interesting choice. Breaks down the rocks and then expands right there, so it's vulnerable. I would break down these rocks, come to harass, and then expand here. But that is not what our friend Bia has chosen. I got 2 Vikings up. I would really need more. But I still think with the Raven, thanks to the point defense drone, this force will definitely hold its own, especially now that the Ghost is up. So, and I don't get Mobius Reactor really, unless I have extra gas, because I really like using the gas on tanks in this build. So he is just warping in a little bit more junk before deciding to make a nice little push on me, and yeah, nothing going on. He's got his expansion nice and transferred, so that was a good move on his part. He actually did that better than I did. I don't have my refineries up over here yet, even though I'm talking about how much gas I need. I haven't refineried over here. So yeah, that's definitely a mistake on my part. So 4 Vikings up should be okay against this, along with the EMP on the sentries and point defense drone for the stalker fire. I should be A-okay. And I'm getting a couple safety marauders just in case there's an abundance of stalkers. And I know he's coming. Like you can see, I'm sending my SCV around trying to get some vision. I've been sending them all around, and I know he's coming. And speaking of, here he comes, and he's going to throw up the Guardian Shield. Siege tanks are going to start firing down. I move a little bit back just so the tanks can get their shots off in the nice splash as these guys come into this choke. I wanted that exactly. So not only can the siege tanks splash in a big, nice condensed area, but the EMPs can just get rid of lots and lots of shields. And I am not going to let that Colossi escape, no sir. And as you can see, a pretty one-sided battle there thanks to the point defense drone. I actually want to watch the energy on the point defense drone during that fight just to see how many shots it blocked total. So I'm going to rewind a little bit. So here it comes, backing up to create more splash. And it starts with 300 energy, goes down to about 75. It's 10 per shot, down to 50. So yeah, at no point was it not stopping Stalker fire. So literally, the Stalkers did not do a point of damage. And that's how powerful that spell is. It's Terran Dark Swarm, called Terran Dark Swarm for a reason. So this is a very key point. Old SaharaDrac would have won this battle, immediately blown up this reactor, lifted this, and gone, which might have been okay, you know, moving up here, killing expansion. It probably would have worked. But new SaharaDrac understands the game on a better level. New SaharaDrac won that battle pretty easily, and then immediately built Command Center. And immediately moved out to establish a third. Because the third base is a very, very important base. Okay, I had 2 point defense drones. I was going to say, man, that point defense drone, you think it would. But yeah, I had 2 out, so yeah, that's really going to nullify Stalkers, my bad. But anyways, here's the point. When you win a battle, don't use your advantage to go nuts and try and kill them. You know, it'll be like, game ender, it's on, boom. Because so many times you will walk into death. You will just, you will kick yourself. And actually, I should have just stayed in here and defended until this was done, and then moved out when I was expanding. But I moved out, and while my command center is still building, it's like, why does this army need to be here right now for me? It really doesn't. As you can see, I'm throwing down 2 bunkers because I still don't know. I actually didn't realize these rocks were gone. So, derp, better get these bunkers up. And the whole Protoss army is just right here. But yeah, I digress. This army doesn't need to be here until I expand, so that was a mistake on my part. Very vulnerable this whole time. Luckily, this expansion is done, and I am continuing to macro, getting some medevacs because I want to drop Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions, kill some probes. That's my short-term plan, and of course he sees all this happening. Oh, how embarrassing for me. So here's some nice vulnerable tanks. Gonna get, and right as I fill my bunkers, he decides to move in. That's just good timing on his part. So tanks are gonna go down easily. I really need to empty these bunkers, but I think they have more range than they do. These Vikings are gonna do make pretty quick work of the Stalkers here. This tank comes to the rescue. I'm like, oh, and moving back. So that's good. He does plus damage armored. I land the Vikings between 2 lines of Stalkers, and he's going to keep warping in right here. So right now it's not looking good, but as you can see, I'm macroing like a beast. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you are not going to lose this game. You are not going to lose another game today. You are not a 600-point Terran. I swear to God, I'm not a 600-point Terran. And, you know, Colossi shows up and kind of, I finally thought I was ending the push, but a bit too many ghosts here, actually. I should have made more Marauders once the stress level reached higher levels, because until they get EMP, they're not really that much use. So here's a nice little group I macroed up, and this is exactly what you want. You do not want to, if you're in a panic situation, you do not want to stream in units 2 at a time. You want to let them do their thing, and then gather up a decent force, and then move out to try and stop this push. As you can see, I still don't quite do it. I try to focus fire this down, but it's not happening. You can see here these 2 Marines. Yeah, don't stream in units 1 at a time like that. I really need a tank. Here's more Vikings. He's definitely performing some pressure. Here's some micro for me, just buying myself time. I don't want these zealots doing damage the whole time they're in here. I want to kite them a little bit. So there's the Viking. I believe it's going to take down. No, it's not. But check out this Colossus' health, 18 health. Then 1 Marine shooting at 8 health, and it finally goes down. Thank God for those medevacs. And another Viking coming out, Ghost Marine, and a tank's about to finish, so he is going to be forced to finally move back. A really, really, really high pressure moment for me there. Whew. And there's still a Zealot over here. The Zealot's got 5 kills. He's a mentor. Let me teach you how to hit robots with your claw thingies.